In a peaceful village nestled between gentle hills and rivers, lived a humble man named Harish, a widower and a schoolteacher. Harish was known not for his wealth, but for his wisdom and the deep love he had for his three daughters, Anaya, Mira, and Kavya. Anaya, the eldest, was tall, graceful, and charming. She had a natural talent for music. Her sitar melodies often drifted to the village like warm evening winds. People would gather outside their home just to listen. "She'll be famous one day," villagers would whisper with admiration. Mira, the second daughter, had a sharp mind and an even sharper memory. She was always buried in books, always asking questions. Teachers praised her brilliance. She dreamt of becoming a doctor and helping the poor. "She'll make this village proud," her school principal once said. Kavya, the youngest, was different. She didn't shine on a stage. She was soft-spoken, quiet, and found peace in the company of nature. She spent her afternoons tending to the garden, feeding birds, and caring for stray animals. People didn't talk about Kavya much, not because she wasn't good, but because her light didn't shout. It whispered. At school events, people clapped loudest for Anaya's performances. During award functions, Mira's name was called again and again. Kavya would sit silently, clapping with polite smile, her heart aching. One evening, after dinner, Kavya sat alone on the stone steps behind their home. The stars were out, but her eyes were on the ground. She held a small clay ball in her lap, chipped and worn, filled with water for the birds. Her father came outside and sat beside her. "Why are you so quiet tonight, Kavya?" he asked gently. Kavya hesitated. Then, with a trembling voice, she said, "Baba, do you think I'm ordinary?" Harish looked at her, surprised. "Why do you ask that?" She bit her lip and continued, "Anaya is so talented. Everyone says she's special. Mira is smart. She'll be a doctor. But me? I just water plants and feed birds. No one notices. No one praises me. Sometimes I feel like I don't matter." Harish was quiet for a moment. Then he stood and reached out his hand. "Come, let me show you something." He led her to the back of their house, where the moonlight touched their small garden. It wasn't grand, but it was alive, vibrant with color, filled with roses, marigolds, tulsi, wheat, and medicinal herbs. "Look at all these plants," Harish said. "Which one is the most important?" Kavya looked around. "The rose is beautiful. The wheat feeds us. The tulsi is sacred. I can't say one is more important than the other." Harish smiled. "Exactly. Each has its own purpose, just like your sisters, and just like you." He picked up the small clay ball from her hand. "Yesterday, I saw you fill this for a sparrow with a broken wing. You didn't think anyone noticed, but I did. You may not stand on a stage, but your heart stands tall every day." Then, placing his hand on her shoulder, he said, "The world needs music to feel, medicine to heal, and kindness to survive. You, my dear Kavya, carry kindness, and that is never ordinary." Tears welled up in Kavya's eyes, not from pain, but from being seen. From that night on, she stopped looking at what her sisters did and started nurturing what she loved. She volunteered at a local shelter, nursed animals back to health, and created a small healing garden behind the house where lonely villagers came to find peace. Years later, When Harish grew old and fell ill, it was Kavya who stayed by his side every day. She made herbal teas, sang soft songs, and held his hand to the hardest nights. And when people passed their house, they still talked about Anaya's music and Mira's clinic. But now they also said, Kavya, she's the heart of that home. Moral: don't compare yourself to others. A rose doesn't envy the wheat, and a river doesn't wish to be a tree. Your value is not in applause or awards, but in the love and truth you live every day. Shine in your own way, because the world needs your light just as it is. Let's learn from the story. 1. Nestled, meaning positioned comfortably or snugly. Example: the village was nestled between gentle hills and rivers. 2. Humble, meaning modest, not proud or boastful. Example: Harish was a humble man known for his wisdom. 3. Charming, meaning pleasant and attractive. Example: Anaya was graceful and charming, with a smile that lit up the room. 4. Melodies, meaning pleasant musical tunes. Example: her sitar melodies drifted to the village like warm evening winds. 5. Admiration, meaning a feeling of respect and approval. Example: villagers whisper with admiration about Anaya's talent. 6. Brilliance, meaning great talent or intelligence. Example: teachers praise Mira's brilliance and curiosity. 7. Whispered, meaning spoke softly, often secretly. Example: she'll be famous one day. Villagers whispered. 8. Polite, meaning showing good manners and respect. Example: Kavya clapped with a polite smile during award functions.